So yeah, we're moving. Both in game. This is move together, as you can tell by this license plate. But besides moving in game, I am going to be moving in real life. We will be able to have a new place that I can actually, afford a little better, and start making some side money and improve the stream, improve the recordings and the videos. I actually have a camera, so we'll be able to do face cam. Right now, though, I can't make the last purchase that I need to put the whole ensemble together. I'm very excited for this move and being able to. And also, sorry, just a quick distraction. This house is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this. This must have been our house, and we're clearly moving. At which, I mean, why would you move? This is such a great view. I mean, look at this. Look, it's just nothing but ocean. Okay, I see why we're moving. What? Who puts their building? That's just that's just a straight drop. But that's just a straight drop. Why did we put our house this close? And what about tsunamis? Oh, whatever. Maybe this isn't my house. Maybe I'm just, moving, helping people move. Before I started moving, though, I figured, I should probably get a little bit of practice in, because I don't know, this car is a little smaller than mine, but I figured we could probably, get the know-how as well as teach people who haven't moved before, like the basics. Because I, for those of you that don't know, I grew up moving quite a bit, and so I'm kind of a expert in the field. So I figure, we give some tips and tricks and pointers for moving, as well as just talk about some other stuff along the way. But one of the biggest tips I can offer is actually to start with your bigger stuff. So I mean, most of the stuff around here is gonna be boxes. It looks like bottles and plants and everything. But I like to start with the big stuff. Obviously, a chair is going to be nice and big. I also want to choose this over boxes because it's oddly shaped. So let's just go ahead and load this up. Like that. And then you want to get off to the side here. It's kind of hard to tell, but it seems like this point might not make the door close fully. Yeah, see? Like that. So, you're going to go ahead and you're going to pull it out. And instead of putting it on the bottom, we're going to put this over the wheel well like this. And now you might be thinking, well, that's too awkward. That still sticks out. And quite frankly, you would be wrong. So go fuck. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. But I like to make sure that everything can close before I get everything in there, because then you're just gonna have to grab everything out and repack it, and it's just not a good time, nobody wants to repack when they're trying to pack. But then we're gonna go ahead and put this. Let's see if I can, yeah, put it in the back seat. As you can see here, there is a gap in this little section here, so I'm gonna actually take this chair out, and we're gonna put the box in. Where'd the chair go? Damn, I flung it. I flung that far. You want to make sure everything's pushed up to the back seat. Now see here it's pushed up back here so that you can put a blanket or padding or anything there, as well as give yourself a little wiggle room for the vehicle, for your seat, because you're going to be driving. It's a long drive to move. But stuff like this, you want to push it away from the back and more onto the axle here. That way the weight is on the axle instead of pulling you back, because you could lose traction, you could have struggles with turning and everything. So just keep that in mind. Try and keep it as close to the axle as possible. Yeah! Okay. Now, a pro tip, I actually have a lot of plants. So plants are actually much easier to move than you think. Now, I don't have any skills when it comes to plant care, and clearly you don't want your plant hanging outside of your car like this. But what you can do is you can take the plant and you can put it in awkward spots like here. And I honestly would have put it here instead. That way it's a little more secure on all 4 areas. But with the awkwardness of this chair, you're actually able to get it in here and get it secure. And it'll prevent it from rolling around once you put more stuff in. But let's keep going. All this other stuff in. Okay, so my game crashed. So I now have to restart all of this. So editor, go ahead and just jump back to when we have all this packed. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention is that when you are packing, try to put stuff more behind the driver, because they're going to need to be able to see through all of this in your blind spots and everything. And then they can just, like, check behind their shoulder, like, so that, you know, if there's anybody when they're trying to drive, they can still see. The number of times I've been pulled over simply because, you know, I blocked the area like this and I couldn't see out the back window is just ridiculous. Now that we got everything situated in here, I do want to point out one other thing is stuff like this where it's glass. You do tend to want to wrap it. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to wrap it right now, so we're just going to put it there. But a lot of this should be... Oh! Oh! Can I go around? Here, I can go around. Sneak it. Oh! There we go! Yeah! Actually, can I do it with this one too? Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, I like that. Clearly, I don't have anybody coming with me. It must be a solo journey. But, yeah, this is roughly what I would have it packed like. You got your glass, barely touching any glass. You want to try and avoid touching things that are the same material. So, like, don't touch pot plants with pot plants or glass to glass. I'd say this is pretty good. We don't have a whole lot of stuff, so we're able to spread it out a little more, and that keeps the view from the front seat to the back nice and clear. So yeah, let's go. Oh, what am I hitting? Ah, this box. Forward slightly. Oh, all right. Let's head to the next spot. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got a hotel visit into a garden house. Ooh, I kind of like this garden house. Do the garden house. I feel like that'll be the most helpful for us for while we're trying to practice for when we have to start moving IRL. Gauge around here, alright? We got a big table, lamp, some pots. Ooh, we got some actual furniture, like, appliances. I knew what I was trying to say. Furniture. Ooh, a trumpet. Clearly, I'm back to playing the trumpet. If you didn't know, I do play trumpet in real life. Editor, put in the JoJo song. Alright, but let's go ahead and gauge around here. So, oh, we can actually come out a little. And get into the driver's seat. Got some seats in the back here. You know what, let's pop everything open just to gauge what all we can do. Alright, it looks like we got a nice 3-row seat with a little bit of trunk space. Alright, well, it's a bit of a it's a 3-row seater in here. Dang, these guys don't have very much leg room, though. Huh. Well, it's a good thing it's just me. And some decent trunk space, but let's go ahead and grab the table first. Always gotta start with your big stuff. Now, I'm thinking we can do one of two situations here. If we flip it this way, we can slide it in like this. Set it down there. Yeah, and then it'll prevent you from having anything sliding forward and slamming into the front here when you stop, and you can still see over. That's actually I like that quite a bit. Now, I'm thinking that oh, what is it? Oh. Ow, that is right in my ear. I feel the cat inside of my skull. I'm just gonna forget about that and move on with my life. See here. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We grab the chair and we grab the stool and then the bird cage. See what we're gonna do here now. You see here is that's too much. We're just gonna go ahead and put this in the back then. Like this. Yes. Ooh, this is some nice deep trunk space. Now, normally, I would say put like a blanket right here so that that doesn't crack or break or chip your glass. But, you know, this is a fucking video game, so it doesn't really matter. Let's grab the other one. Oh, I didn't even see the coat hanger here, so we'll tackle that here in just a second. Now, with stools specifically, it's kind of going back to what we talked about before, that you wanna have like a little cage in a sense. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this right in between these two seats here, like this. Perfect. And then you can go ahead and put stuff in the actual stool, and then it keeps it a little more secure, you know? Let's go ahead and grab the coat hanger. I feel like this will be a little difficult to work with. Now, hopefully, I can just slide this on the floor here, maybe. Let's give that a test. Nice! Oh, yeah. And then we'll give the other door a test. Nice! Okay, yeah, that'll stay there. It gets awkward with those kinds of things, like the long ones, like shower curtain rods. But really, if you just keep it away from the door, or if it fits perfectly long ways, that's fine. Now, clearly, this here's for a animal of some sort. Apparently, I have a cat as well. I found a cat, but this bird I must have set free, because you know, if you love something, you gotta set it free. And how you know it loves you is it comes back. You know, it's like a yo-yo. Yo-yos always love you. Yo-yos never hurt you. But I digress. We're gonna head to the next box here. Now, this is kind of a bigger box. And normally, I would probably put this in the trunk. And honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the trunk. Nothing too crazy. Don't overthink it too much. But, you know, just make sure you keep that nice view from front to back. Now, the only one of the few exceptions to my rule of not having things touch that are the same material is, in fact, boxes. You can just go ahead and put those in right next to each other almost all the time. The nice thing about boxes is that they're pretty standardly shaped, so you're able to get in there and set stuff down. Like, I mean, like if I put a plant, if I had put this plant in there right there, it would have wasted so much space. And since there's cardboard all around it, that'll build an extra wall, and then our plant won't tip over. Ooh, I do see this radio. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the front seat here. Crank some tunes. Even though I do have a radio here, maybe we double up on the radio, you know. Can you actually do that, or does, like, the frequencies mess with each other? Somebody in the comments, let me know if radios affect each other like that, or if they would double up if it was the same frequency. But moving forward, we're just gonna go ahead and keep pressing with these boxes. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna take this one out. I'm really looking to fill this back quite a bit before we get into anything else, because your trunk, I mean, like before, I said try and keep it on the axle. This one's probably okay. It's a little closer together with the wheels, but when you get into big stuff like U-Hauls and everything, you very much want to keep it between the axles. That way it presses down on both wheels, so you have that traction I was talking about before. But this one, I'm probably okay with putting more in the back, because the engine... Actually, wait. the engine under the... What the fuck is the engine in there? Oh, it's in the back. Oh. Okay, well, ignore everything I just said. You definitely want to keep it between the axles, especially if your engine's in the back. Alrighty then. Now that we got a few more boxes in here, I'm gonna go ahead and put, because we have this extra little bit of space here, and the trunk does still shut. I want to be able to put a couple more things in here, but since there is glass, we're gonna try and find something that's not hard. Ooh, like some shoes. Some shoes would be nice. You want to avoid like pots, and our boxes are too big for that, so we'll most likely put some books back here as well. Yeah, put it in that crack back there, right in the crack. I really honestly should have put the books in the box, because these little loose things are always a nightmare to deal with, like I was saying. Books all gotta stay together. I'm gonna have to put all of these back onto a bookshelf anyway. Got it in like this. You see what I mean? You just find a spot and you slip it in. Don't take that out of context. Right, so, you know, now, the reason I'm not putting more boxes back here is that, again, you want to keep your line of sight. You don't want to get pulled over. You don't want to have to go through all of that, especially with stingy police officers that are like, my kind of go-to rule of thumb is the back seat line. If you keep under that, then you're fine. But some of this stuff, like off to the side, where I'll be driving, I'll be up here, and I'll go to look, and I mean, you can't even see that. And if I check my blind spot, I'm gonna be looking out the windows anyway, not clear back here at the window. But again, just the driver's side, not the passenger side. Now, with larger vehicles of this sort, I most likely will put lamps on the door. That way it has less to spill if it does topple over. There's just, you know, actually, I'm gonna take a step back. There's just something satisfying with all of this. Because you take your whole life and you save up to buy things. Buy pots, you buy pictures, you buy blankets. You put it in this big home. You make it your own. And it's just so... Honestly, it's just so cool that you can pack up all of your stuff into one vehicle and then start over fresh somewhere else. This is your whole world. This car, this stuff. You have a partner or a pet. Apparently we have a cat. You can just pack up all your stuff and go see the rest of whatever's out there. And you don't have to be stuck to just here. You don't have to limit yourself. There's something satisfying about having control over that. Perfect. Oh my god, look at that line to line, seam to seam. Ignore this piece, but look at this right here, you know? Ooh, that's crisp. You know what that means is we can stack more boxes on top of that. Hey! Alright, that's all the boxes. Do I have to take this broom? Ah, crap. I didn't see this. Who uses a broom this big? This broom is fat, actually, more than anything. Like, the bristle's fine, but why do I have to two-hand the shaft? Editor, don't put that in. Okay, well, normally I myself am used to having to leave space for co-traveler, such as the missus. But we're just gonna go ahead and put that in the seat. Now, we've reached a bit of the end game. We got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Something else I'm supposed to grab? The pants, maybe? Really should have checked to see if that bench was there. Oh! This book. Okay, well, that's pretty easy to pack away. This here? Okay. So now that we have, like, only a few things left, I'm actually gonna go ahead and close some of these. Plus, if I start stuffing I don't want to accidentally push something out the back. But these are all going to be pretty easy to put in. Lots of space here. Put it all the way back. With that being said, I say we head to the next spot. Yeah, look at us all dripped out like that. I'm actually gonna call it here, but if you want more moving tips and tricks, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment or whatever. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Much love. Yeah.